Hello, hello. I hope all is well for everybody. This is a Surge In and Out. Thanks for joining me, getting some Surge In and Out conversations happening about the job market. I'm a little concerned. So let's go into a few articles here and some opinions on Reddit, and we will conclude the broadcast for this topic. All right, so here we go. The great jobs mismatch. Why companies aren't hiring. So yeah, are companies hiring? The great jobs mismatch this is from Forbes. Why companies aren't hiring and candidates can't find jobs. The United States government recently reported that there were 9.2 million jobs available. The abundance of opportunities available seems amazingly high. And I'm sure you those of you who are looking for work or who have been laid off or who have been unemployed for some time, you're having a different experience, right? Even though you have those degrees, even though you've got all the experience, you're still essentially invisible, correct? So here we go. The number of jobs open nearly matches the amount of people searching for a new position. You'd think with so many roles remaining available, hiring would be red hot and the unemployment rate plummet. However, this isn't happening. The simplest explanation is that there is a big mismatch going on in the job market. Here's what's going on behind the scenes. Many companies are acting as if we're still in the midst of the worst part of the COVID-19 pandemic. They're not offering wages or salaries at a sufficient level to attract people. This is most pernicious in the hospitality and leisure sectors, which include restaurants, bars, and hotels. Well, I've seen a restaurant ad that said they needed a waitress for $2.28 an hour. So essentially, that employee is going to pretty much rely on tips for their daily bread, which is atrocious. I mean, come on. And I don't want to go into the background on tipping. That's atrocious within itself, because it was like a actual salary for slaves, for people who were the in-house slaves, relied on tips exclusively for their bread and butter, and a lot of times that didn't happen. So for the fact of we're in 2024 and you're offering $2.28 for a waitress's. Yeah, okay, so let's continue here. All right, so the simplest, you'd think that so many roles remaining unavailable, hiring would be red hot and the unemployment rate plummet. However, this isn't happening. The simplest explanation is that there is a big mismatch going on in the job market. Here's what's going on behind the scenes. Many companies are acting as if we're still in the midst of the worst part of the COVID-19 pandemic. They are not offering wages or salaries at a sufficient level to attract people. This is most pernicious in the hospitality and leisure sectors, which include restaurants, bars, hotels, and also the same with manufacturing, warehousing, and fulfillment centers. Jobs in these areas on a whole aren't terribly attractive. With a lot of press about the Delta variant and worries about the virus fresh in people's minds, it's understandable that potential workers would rather not take the risk of contracting COVID-19, especially if they're not compensated well. It's not pleasant to lug and slack and heavy boxes around all day, having to deal with demanding and abusive customers at restaurants and bars can be annoying. It's a job that is easy to quit to look for something else. More than half of the hospitality workers, they said they won't go back to their old jobs, even with an increase in pay. According to a Jobs survey that CNN reported, Clown News Network. Yeah, the CNN is saying that restaurant workers are quitting in droves. A survey of over 30,000 workers conducted by Microsoft revealed that 41% of workers considering quitting or changing positions this year. The U.S. Department of Labor showed that more than 4 million people quit their jobs in April alone, setting a new record. Now, they're talking about the people that are quitting, but let's discuss layoffs. I mean, are they going to get to that? One of the best shows ever. Let me see. I'm not going to go into that. That's a nothing burger. Okay, so we went into the quitting, and I want to see how many layoffs has there been lately, as of late. So let's see the layoffs just for this year alone. Okay, so mass layoffs are happening. I'm sure everyone who's been keeping up with the news on labor knows this. Mass layoffs continue to skyrocket in 2024. And this is on MSN. Let's see here. Let's go back to Forbes, see what they're talking about with the layoffs here. All right, 5 trends. Okay. 5 trends in layoffs for 2024 and which industries are recession proof. I know the tech industry isn't. They're laying off in droves. So last year in 2023 saw a big jump in job cuts, reaching a whopping 270,416, staggering 396%, more than the year before. The tech industry took a hard hit. Oh yeah, losing over 240,000 jobs, marking a 50% increase from the previous year. The tech world, already facing upheavals in the last 2 years, is set to continue its challenges into 2024. In just the first 4 weeks of this year, big players like Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, TikTok, and the rest, there's Salesforce, a lot of companies, let go of around 25,000 employees. So the layoffs are up and up and up, and so even the small tech companies are laying off, or they're shrinking in size. I think that in terms of software development, maybe that the framework has gotten so great, and AI has basically copied and pasted most of the framework, and the data has swelled beyond belief, that a lot of what people were making online and inventing can be streamlined now. So they're blaming it on AI, but it's really the companies are streamlining. There's only so much code that you can write for the same kind of results, I guess. I'm not a software engineer, but I'm just on the outside looking in. That's what I'm thinking. Comment if I'm incorrect about that. I like to learn no matter what. I want to know. So let's see. The cost of cutting dilemma. Spending too much money in 2023 is causing trouble for businesses in 2024. One big reason for this trouble is trying to reduce cost, and that's a major cause of companies letting go of employees. There are different reasons for wanting to cut costs, like not making enough money, facing business losses, or not being able to make things fast enough. It's also about making more money and keeping investors happy. So there's the culprits, are the investors in the background. So when that well-oiled machine gets a little rusty, the employees are the first to be hacked away. So investors want businesses to spend less money when they're not making as much. So companies are being careful with how much they spend, choosing to keep more money in their pockets instead of hiring as many people as possible. So while this cautious approach helps companies save money, it also means a lot of people are losing their jobs in the process, and also in the midst of inflation, high inflation. The cost to live is astronomical, and people can't even afford housing. So that part, let's think about that too, causing many people to lose their jobs in the industry. So they're saying it's AI takeover. AI is taking over. The rise of AI is becoming a significant contributor to layoffs. A survey is saying that 70% of employers are laying off workers to save money. Well, when you got a lot of data and that framework is copy paste, and it becomes redundant, I guess they figure they can just save money like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just I don't know. I think that we need our programmers. We need people behind. We need people. We don't need just machines. Maybe robotic. Maybe those tools can just make work easier, but you got to have employees to make everything churn. There's not going to be who's going to buy your products. Who's going to be? I guess they don't care. Like they mark up everything. I guess they don't want people to have any affordability in their lives. So when two companies decide to join forces, it's called a merger. Okay, this means they become a new entity, combining their operations. On the flip side, a buyout occurs when one company is bought by another, making it part of the new owner's business through a change in ownership. During these mergers and buyouts, companies often shake things up. They might change how jobs are organized, what skills they need, or even the names of departments. And unfortunately, this often leads to some employees losing their jobs as the company figures out how many people they still need. Now, let's get back to education. Education in America. America isn't hiring. They're not teaching. We're not teaching in our schools viable work skills for the technological advances that are here already. So that's even a problem. And then people who are going to college aren't able to actually work in their field of interest that they get their degrees out of. So these are also sticking points of an actual system that's crumbling. So then you got this whole sector of outsourcing everything to other countries, but yet wanting America to be the cash cow. They want America to be the cash cow, most of these corporations, but they're outsourcing all the work. One big reason why people lose jobs is because of companies choosing to outsource. That's one of the big reasons. That's a biggie. So it's like when you decide to ask someone from another place to do a job instead of hiring full-time people that are in your face. This is because having full-time employees can be expensive for many companies. Yeah, I think that if the elites, if the rich, if everyone paid their fair share in taxes, we probably could have the healthcare thing sewed up. We could be universal healthcare. And paying our doctors well too. And stop paying, more. You're paying your doctors less than you would pay someone to play with balls. Golfers, tennis players, basketball players, football players, etc. So what they do is send the work to other countries or areas where money is worth less. This way, big companies can save money, and they often hire agencies with workers who are paid less to get the job done. Unfortunately, This way of doing things often leads to a job cuts for people in the original company. So let's go into the healthcare and social assistance aspect of this. Jobs in healthcare, social assistance offer a more secure haven during economic downturns. Why? Because people don't stop getting sick or needing medical attention, recession or not. There are roles considered essential services that folks require regardless of the economy's state. The aging population further contributes to the demand for healthcare services, and governments often boost spending on healthcare during tough times to stimulate the economy, providing a safety net for workers in this sector. So it goes on and on and on, and with the two different ones, retail, trade, economic downturn, people prioritize essential needs, benefiting industries like retail, trade, grocery stores. Sales rise as customers cut back on dining out and discount. Well, they have to. The inflation is immense, and people can't afford that. You walk out with 2 bags of groceries after spending $150. 2 bags, easy. So how can this be sustainable, America? Well, let's see what the people on Reddit are talking about. What's going on with the whole ghost jobs thing? Are companies really hiring right now? Okay, so Classic Darling says, I have put in 100+ job applications in the past few months, and I have barely got any kind of responses. I have interviewed for a couple that later ghost me. All right, well, I'm in the UK. This person is in the UK. His name is Two Wolves. He says, I'm in the UK. Also noticed this trend. Some companies, same companies, same jobs, and on the first of every month, a number of companies posting the same roles on repeat. So the job boards are trash. They're basically grabbing up people's information and their location, and they're selling their information essentially. And they're not even applying. I know Indeed is not even applying their resumes that are on their site. They're not applying for these jobs. They're just kind of circulating it around. I consistently see job listings still up on ZipRecruiter that I applied to as far back as a year ago. Wow. Some people, that's real ambition. 400+ applications from Jay Harvin. Sent out since January 30th. 30 interviews came out of that, but he's put in 400+ job applications. Wow. Made it to a final round of 18 times. Received 3 offers that were all below the advertised salary. An offer for a lower position than the one I applied for because they wanted someone with more experience in high volume planning. So I'm not going to go into that too deep. I'm sure you folks get the gist of it. They're basically selling us a bill of goods. We're being 12 card Monting, being tricked and prodded and pulled into thinking that, the economy's great. You got Lion Biden up there saying that the economy's great and everything's wonderful and jobs, there's a plethora of jobs out there. People are hiring. And of course, then we've got our borders that are completely porous and open. It doesn't feel like a country, does it, folks? So, that's going to be the out part of Surge In and Out. I'm going to go ahead and conclude this. And all of you job seekers that are out there, stay prayed up and don't give up. And don't give up on yourself. Try to, I guess I don't know. I don't even want to say that. Have your own business. This is just really a daunting situation. All of you take care and keep your head up. Don't get depressed about this. America is definitely falling.